Hi guys, welcome again to my YouTube channel. Today we'll be considering Palo Alto administration for the firewall. I'm going to log in quickly. We're into the firewall now. Okay, so this is the dashboard. Now this dashboard, you can pre-configure it as you love. Another administrator can also be added. Other administrator can be added to this. You can check the system logs and check what are the occurrences in the logs. You can check the data logs. You can check in the admins that are logging. You can have more than one admin that will have access the rules that they are to demonstrate on the file. Now I'm the one logging in with this administrative rule and the name and with this IP address. Also, I would love to have the general information that will tell me the IP address I'm using. It will also give me the UUID to give me the CPU ID as well, and we're able to make me to understand and know my MAC address. These are the information you can get from here, and you can also add some other widgets as you prefer. If you want to check the interfaces, which of the interfaces are up, which of them are down. Presently, we are here to configure the interfaces, which we are going to be doing very shortly. You might choose to also check the high availability, is it enabled or not, and the clusters. You may love to check the threats logs. You want to have a visibility into the threat logs right in your dashboard, so you can use the widget. When it comes to the day-to-day administration on Palo Alto, there is one important wizard you want to have, which is the ACC. So the ACC stands for Application Control Center. That is where most of the occurrences in your firewall can be checked. You check the application usage, you're able to check the activity usage. Because this Palo Alto is new, you might not see much of information in it. You can see the URL filtering. Here is where you can see the content activities. That's where you can see the source IT activity. You can even do a global filtration to whatever you're checking. What you're checking can all be checked in a global level. You can actually also set it to the time level to check more granularly, either 15 minutes or an hour or 6 hours as you love to have. One beautiful thing is you can jump in between logs. What you have here in your ACC, maybe the threat activities, you can check through it. You can check the blocked activities. You can check through the tunnel activities. You can have visibility into the SSL activities, and either of any of the activities is also linked to the monitor, which is here. Now I can from here jump into my monitor, so I can check either there's a threat I observed right here in the ACC and I want to check more granularly into it. Maybe for example the threat log, maybe I observe a threat on this application usage, then I'll click the threat log, and as you can see, it's jumping directly into the monitor, and from there you can see the list of the threats that are pertain to what you want to check as from the threat log that you mitigate. You can check the decryptions, you can check configurations, you can also check the alarms. You can also create policies here. We're going to be doing this shortly, and you can add a policy depending on how you want it to communicate. You can actually create a QoS, a quality of service, in the organization. Also, you can also actually do a policy based forwarding for your IP address and the port to be able to have an access into the workloads. You can actually have an SD1 connectivity where your one put in preference and can be used in your organization. You can actually create an authentication here, and you can add the authentication model as per the source, the destination, and the services you want them to be able to have access to, and then you can give an action to it and the timeout that you want for the authentication to go out. First, we're going to be going to the devices. Here I want to link it with my Palo Alto, so I provisioned the Palo Alto on from the Azure portal. You can check the video right here. You can go to networking. You will see that in the networking you will observe this ETO, which also represents the management port. ET1 represents the untrust, which I can also call the external, and then the ET2, which represents the trust, which I can call the internal. Okay, so looking at the management port, if you go to the device, you see the management. These are the management interfaces, the authentication setting for management you can set here, and also the policy based rule for the management. Now I want to check the interfaces here. As you can see, for the management, this is the interface, and these are the available port that is given. As you can see, the reason why we can ping or have HTTPS is because it has been allowed by default while you configure your Palo Alto. Okay, so for now we want to go into creating and allowing internet in on our Palo Alto. Firewall. So the HT1.1.1 is equivalent to the HT1 on the Azure, and the HT2 is also equivalent to the one on Azure as well. So we are going to first create the zones because we are going to be needing the zones. So I'm going to create 2 zones. Now we have, I showed you the earlier that the HT1 is the untrust. So, and I said I will call the untrust internal. Okay, that is external. Okay, so I'll call it external. So I will name it external, then a bracket untrust. Okay. Okay, then I will put it on layer 3. So I'm going to configure my firewall on layer 3. Okay, so I'm going to use an underscore instead of using. Okay, and I'm going to create the internal trust. Internal trust. I'm also going to put it on layer 3 as well. So this firewall, I want to configure it in the layer 3 group, which is the network layer. Okay, so I go directly to the interfaces. So I will first configure my Internet 1.1. So my Internet 1.1, I'll configure it to a layer 3. Then it will bring up these wizards. I will configure the zone. Remember, I already created a zone. So I will leave this at default, the virtual route for now at this spot. Now I will choose. This is internal one. This is, so I will choose external untrust. Then an IPv4. I will make my firewall to do the DHCP for me. I do not need automatic create default route for me. I will leave it as that. There's one more thing I want to do there. I want to create an allow ping. So I'm going to create a management profile where I will just allow ping for now, and then I call it untrust. Okay. So for the untrust, I will allow the ping. Okay, so I go to the Internet 1.2. I've also set it to layer 3. The config, I'm going to put it to internal. Okay. Alright. I'll continue the configuration by setting the IPv4 to also DHCP. I do not need an automatic creation of default route. At the advanced, I also allow ping. But since I already created the untrust, I can also use the same since it's the management profile. Okay. Alright, now that is done, we have to have a virtual router which will allow us to be able to access internet. There's a default one here, but we are needing to create two, the one that we allow for the external and also for the internal. So I'll start with the external. So here I'll add an interface. Okay, I'll select. Okay, so I will select the channel 1, which is for the external. Then I'll go here to the static route. And the static route I need to the one that will go to the internet and also the one that will be able to access to the internal. Okay, so first the one that we access to external to the internet. The destination will be the default route to 0/0. So the interface will be Ethernet 1.1. The IP address will use the 10.2.1.1. Okay, so I'll create the one that will go to the internal. So external to my internal. So here I will specify the IP address for which is 10.2.2.0/4. Then at this rate I will choose a virtual router, but for now I have not created, so I will leave at default. When I create, then I'll come and effect the change here, so that will be saved. So I'll create the one for the internal, so I will name this internal, so it will be on the second Ethernet 1.2. I will create a static route. I only need one static route, which is from here to the interest, which is the external. Then I'll use the default. So I'm saying. Then I'll use the Ethernet 1.2 interface. The IP address I'll use the next virtual router. Note that I've already created the untrust, which is the entire external, so I'm going to put that. Now we have the internal virtual router created, so I can go back to this to remediate what I put for that as default, which is from external to internal, which now the internal will show. Okay, very good, that's fine. One very important thing that you must know in Palo Alto firewall is you have to commit, and that is a means of saving all that you have configured. So before we go to create the policy that will allow us to access the internet, let's go to commit the configuration we have made. So we're going to commit all changes, the one we did at the policy, the one we did at this level, everything we want to commit. So we're going to wait for that to get committed so we can proceed with creating the policy. So without the policy, you won't be able to access the internet. So the policy we allow to the source from the internal to the external, and then from there we can be able to access. So it's just like from LAN to WAN rule that you create on any file. That's how it will look like, and then from there you can be able to access the internet. Then we'll be able to test using PuTTY. Okay, so there was an error pop-up that we made a mistake here. Sorry guys. I wanted to put /0. So while I was trying to commit, there was an error. So I had to come to remediate this. So we'll go back to commit. So hopefully there will not be that error. So I'll pause the video again, just like I did earlier, so as not to take much of the time, because sometimes this might take a while. Okay guys, as you can see, the configuration committed successfully. Okay, so now we go to create the policy that will permit. So on policies, we go to security. So we can close this. So when you go to security, just down, you see hard. So let's just call it internet rule. Okay, so go to source. So our source will be from LAN, which is the internal trust. So no need of source from any address, from any user, from any device, to external, which is our WAN, from any address and any device. Okay, application, any application, from all services and the action set to allow. So we can log from start and log to end and click OK. Alright, so the rule has been created and is on top of the rule. The rule also take precedence from up to the list. Okay, so we're just going to create a NAT rule to NAT our internal to the external, and that will be all. Then we'll test. Okay, so from here you go down towards here, then you click hard. So we can just create it. We can just call it internal NAT, nothing to the internal. Okay. Okay, so we'll go to the original packet. We are going to add from the internal to the external. Okay, any interface, any service, or any destination or source addresses. Okay, there's one more thing that we need to do before we commit. Okay, so let's translate the packet. So we're going to, the packet is translated from dynamic IP address and port to internal face address and then to your Ethernet WAN. And this is because of that port from the internal will be able to be reflective to the external, and then from there you can be able to access the internet. Okay, so we're going to commit to see if there is any. So commit is just something around this side, then you click commit. Okay, so to show you commit all changes, so you are going to commit all changes. So this is very good. It lets you know if there is an error, and you can literally go back to check what you have done, then remediate it and go back again. Okay, the configuration has been committed successfully. Right, so let's try. Let's go to test. So I'm going to bring up my putty and I'm going to insert 20 my public address there, which I'm using to access the firewall. Okay, I click accept. So I'm going to log in as sorry, I'm going to retry that. Okay, so now have access. So let me ping from the host 8.8.8. Now we can reach the internet. Now we can see the interfaces are on. Thank you.